Very good morning to all. So today I have prepared a lecture especially for the UG students regarding how to write review articles. Now, first of all, let me clearly mention that review articles are generally written by experts in a particular field. A person who has worked for maybe many years on a particular topic and is an expert. So it is he who writes review articles. So what UG students are supposed to write are literature review articles. What is literature review article? So that is what I'm going to say in this lecture. Okay, so now when you start to write a literature review article, what you will write, your mind is like this, right? It's entangled where you are going to start. Believe me, mine is also like this now. Like, how am I going to entangle your mind? So I'm going to try. What is a review article? Review article, what you will write is also known as I've already said, is a literature review article. So here you're supposed to survey previous published research on the topic. You're going to give an overview and the current position, current thinking on the topic. You will not present any experimental results. It is you're just going to say what major achievements have been there in this particular review field. You're going to discuss about the main areas of debate. You're going to discuss about the outstanding research questions, but in a review article, you won't be doing any experiments or you won't be giving any experimental results of your own. So what you're supposed to do, you are supposed to write a critical, constructive analysis of the literature in a specific field through summary, classification, analysis, and comparison. So you're not going to give anything new. Remember, it is not an essay, it is not your original work, it is not an original paper, it's a review work. You're not supposed to give anything new. You are not going to prove your main point. You are just going to state, survey, give the current position of a particular theme that has already been worked upon. But remember, what you are going to write must not be written earlier. Did you get my point? Like, suppose original, there may be many original work on that particular topic, but what, and you are going to review that from, suppose you have studied about 100 papers or in a time span of 3 to 4 years, and you're going to review on those 100 articles on a particular topic, what the position is. But if the review has already been done, then you cannot review the review. Did you, am I being able to communicate myself? So suppose the review has been done 10 years back. So now you can do again the current status. It is something new, the current status. You can do that. But you cannot review a review which has been done recently. Okay. So what is the function of a review article? I understand original article, you have to establish your findings, you have to do experiments. But what is the function of a review article then? Review article is like, let me give an example. Suppose you meet your school friend after 30 years. Okay. So he has become a little plump. At first you could not recognize him. And then he was having coffee at a distant place. And you thought that, yeah, it may be Satish. So you go up to him and you say, hey Satish, is it Satish? How have you been? Okay, where did you study after school? Okay, now in what job are you in? Are you married? Oh, you look so plump. I think you must do some exercise, and so on and so forth. So what do? You get his updated status, last 30 years, what he has been doing, and mostly you are interested about his current status, and you are also recommending him, okay, you have become plump, so I think you must do some exercise. So this is exactly what a review article should give your readers. By reading your review article, a reader should have a better understanding about the topic. You should be able to update the reader with the information in your article. For that, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to organize the literature systematically. You can do it within a time frame that in 2015 this kind of work, then in this next the work transformed to this area. So you can divide your article into different time frames or different subheaders also. You're supposed to evaluate the literature, not take any literature blindly, and evaluate the weightage of a particular literature by seeing how many times it has been cited, so that you can give it additional weightage in your article. You need to identify the patterns and trends in the literature, where the work is going, where it is going, so that you can comment on the present status. So, and finally, the main work of a review article is to identify research gaps and recommend new research areas. You're not going to say something new that, okay, I have found this result. No, you can only recommend that, okay, till here, last 5 years, this kind of work has been done, and I think these are the work where research can be done in future. A review article should contain a title, list of authors, abstract, introduction, body. Now, this body will have two parts. One is materials and methods, which is not compulsory. Mind it, it is not compulsory. It depends on the reviewer whether you will include a materials or methods or not. Whereas in an original article, it is mandatory how you are going to do your research. It is mandatory in an original article, but in a review article, materials and methods are not mandatory. But if you do include it, what needs to be written in it, I will show you in the later. Next, the main part of the review article, what you want to say, and the main summary, main viewpoint. Conclusions, where you give your own recommendations. Acknowledgement, who has helped you. For UG students, it can be your departmental teachers, college, uh, mentor, and references. Now, references is again wherever you are submitting the paper, in suppose in a conference or in a particular journal, the reference style of that conference or the journal must be followed. Okay. So let's look into an article, and I hope you will have a clear idea about what I was saying. So what did I say? A review article must have a title. Effect of dam construction on biodiversity, a review. See, this title, by reading your title, a reader will consider whether he or she will go through your paper or not. So your title should be catchy, it should be short, it should depict what is written inside, like, and it should also mention that it is a review. You can write a review, a overview, something like that. Like, it's not your original work, it's a review. You must mention in the title. Suppose here it's written effect of dam construction on biodiversity. So now what will the reader have in mind? That here Biodiversity is affected in some way or the other. There are several threats, but here a particular threat has been discussed, and that is dam construction. Okay, and it's a review. So it's clear from that. Uh, Ideally, the topic should have 8 to 12 words, not more than 12 words. Okay. So then you see the author's names are here. Now, when you since you are a UG student, there won't be much difficulty in selecting the authors. You will definitely become, since you are writing, so you will be the first author, and whoever is helping you, your mentor, can be the corresponding author or the second author. But when a huge work is done, when a huge review is done, it cannot be done by a single person or 2-3 person. A group of people is required to do research. So before doing any written work, the authorship or the ownership of the work must be decided upon. That you will understand when you grow a little big, like, so now you need not be worried what is first author and what is corresponding author, but I will just mention that see the stars, these are the affiliations, the A, B, C, D, these are the affiliations which are being written down. And these stars, if I click on the star, it will go that they are the corresponding authors. This one with the single star is the corresponding author. The email IDs are given, their address is given, and so if anybody has any queries, any questions, they can ask the corresponding author. Okay. So next, now let's see what did I, so we are done with the title. Okay, another thing you see here, there is an abstract. Okay, abstract is ideally of 200 to 250 words, and it should give it's a summary of your paper. Okay, the abstract should also have, or like, whatever your paper says, the abstract should say that. It should not be something which is not related to your paper. It should say that in short, within 200 to 250 words. It is usually single paragraph, no figure, no reference is required in the abstract. And you should give effective keywords like 5 to 6, maybe 6 maximum keywords. How are these keywords useful? These keywords, like if I search a paper with dam, with biodiversity, wetland, effect of dam on biodiversity, it should come up. These are the, like, you should think like, whatever keywords they type in the search, my paper should come. So you should have an idea. So now let's come to the introduction. You see the author has given the introduction about, first he has mentioned what is a wetland. And see in these brackets, he has written about the authors, about the previous works, literature. So he has not written anything of his own, because you're not supposed to write anything new. You're supposed to mention whatever is written, but in your own words. So suppose, let's take the first sentence. Wetlands are critical to global ecology and highly sensitive to climate change. This he cannot say on its own, because he is writing a review article. That is, you cannot say on its own, you are writing a review article. So you have to say who has established this fact. You are here only to state the facts which has already been established by previous workers. So after every sentence, you will find the papers, the reference of the papers in the bracket after every sentence. Can you see? Okay. So first they have structured the introduction by writing about the wetlands. Then he has mentioned what is biodiversity hotspot, and then the authors have mentioned that what is the focus of this review, that this review focuses on dam construction around the world and its effect on biodiversity on the freshwater wetland. So he has the introduction is your introduction to the entire thing, and your title, each word of your title is touched upon in the introduction. It gives a background of your review work. Okay. Now methodology, as I said, that it's not mandatory for every reviewer to write methodology. It's not essential for a review article. But here they have mentioned the methodology, and within the methodology, they have written how they have written the review article. See, 347 original publications were studied, they were selected, and how they sorted it out, how they evaluated the journals, and how they distributed the work, the distribution of papers across time period, the journals in which they were published, so how they segregated, and how they came up with the result. That is what they have mentioned. So, but this is not mandatory. I have told you again and again. Now they are coming to their main body, where they have touched. See, they have made headings, subheadings, and within those headings, they have made subheadings. So, like effect of dam construction on microorganisms. Now, effect on water. So these dam construction have its effect on water, effect on soil sediment water microorganisms, soil microorganisms, so on and so forth. Again, dam construction on benthos. First they have taken microorganism, then they have taken benthos, and within the heading they have made subheadings. What kind of benthos, or uh, what kind of microorganisms? Okay, so they have structured their paper very well. Now if you see, now this is again in their materials and methods, how many journals they have seen, how many publications, how many citations, and so on and so forth. So this goes their body. I'm not dealing much. They have summarized again on this in the table what they have got by reading the papers. And now effects are going on, and let's see. Now they have again summarized a table, given a summary in the table, that studies on the dam on botany and like study area, species, and who all have done the studies. And here they have mentioned the gaps. Like nobody has done a study on floating plants in reservoir area, on submerged macrophages in a reservoir area, no studies. In downstream channel, again no studies are there in floating plants, but submerged macrophage there are two studies. So again here there are no studies. So here they have identified the research gaps. Okay. And finally, the conclusion. They have said conclusion and future research areas. They have mentioned, based on the above review, the following is the recommendation for future research. As I said, you can recommend that future research can be done in this direction. They have given 7 recommendations. Finally, they have given acknowledgement, the financial support from where they have got, and these are the references. Referencing is again I will tell you about referencing in a different lecture. There are several ways of referencing, but what you undergraduate students must understand is uh, whatever example of referencing is given in while you were filling the form is provided, you have to follow that rule. Okay. So let's go back. Let's go back to our slide now. So I hope, let me go back to the previous slide now. I hope title, list of authors, abstract, introduction, body, which contains materials and methods, body, which contains main part of the review article, conclusion, acknowledgement, and reference. This is clear. I suppose I have made myself clear. Okay. Now let me move forward. How to write a review article. I was up till now I was saying what a review article is, what a reader should expect from reading a review article, and how to do it. Okay. So it can be done in 4 phases. The first one is the preparatory phase in which you are in. Okay. So let me explain with some example. You undergraduate students, for you, to search a topic, first you must understand, like, on what will you write? That is a huge question. Suppose you are writing for you have to submit an abstract or submit a paper in a conference which is titled Biodiversity and Sustainable Development in Human Welfare, suppose. So you open Google Scholar. Okay. There are several search engines, PubMed, Jester, and many, SkyHub. Many search engines are there, but for UG students, Google Scholar is good enough, more than sufficient for you. So you open Google Scholar first. So what was the topic? Biodiversity and sustainable development in human welfare. So first I gave the keyword biodiversity. See, we have got 2470 and 3 more zeros. So many papers. It's quite broad. Okay, so you need to focus the topic. What did I say? Your review article must be unique. It should not have been written earlier. So the more focused you are, the more chances of yours article being unique, the chances becomes high. Okay, so your search should be an inverted pyramid. First, the broader topic, and then slowly you narrow down your search and focus on a particular area. So first I searched with biodiversity. I got so many articles. Here, see, the PDF versions are available. So here it's written, these PDFs are available. They are hosted by a separate website. And these are the authors, how many times this article has been cited. It's a book actually, so it has been, the more the times the article is cited, the credibility of the article increases. Okay. So, but it's quite broad. So let me take a particular organism. So I took fish. So I searched, I added fish. So biodiversity fish, see the items, number of items decreased. Okay. So we have decline threats, genome evolution, teleost fish. Okay. Evidence of fish faunas. And so now what can I do to focus it more? I thought, let me go with a type of fish, but still keep it broader. So I typed freshwater so that I can get freshwater fishes. Please note that the results are decreasing. So we are going down the pyramid, an inverted pyramid, as I mentioned. So freshwater, again, there is a book and so many freshwater fish biodiversity. There are papers in Africa. And so now what I can do is I can narrow by saying narrow it down by mentioning a specific geographical location, right? So I mentioned West Bengal. West Bengal, again, the results have narrowed down. We have a specific area, Churni River of West Bengal. It has been done in East Midnapur. Okay, so I need to, freshwater fish diversity of West Bengal has already been done in 2017. So I cannot do this. I cannot write on this. So I have to focus it more. So I thought, let me focus on this place, the geographical location. So I focused on Kolkata. Okay. So again, the same paper is coming, freshwater. So again, biodiversity, traditional practices, sustainability issue in wetlands in Kolkata, it's there. See, review status, a review also is there in 2014, it has been published. See, after a review has been published in 2014, original work has been done in 2017 about the status at that time, about the fish diversity, which is possible, which is not wrong. Okay, that can be done. But if something is done in 2017, again in 2019, if you are given some new information and referring this, that till 17 this was the case, now in last 17, 18, 19, 20, last 3 years, the diversity has increased or decreased from year to year. Even that is that you can do. But it will be better if you focus it more. So I thought that let me include East Kolkata wetlands. Again, you see the results are decreasing. So slowly I thought let me use, since in the topic there is biodiversity and sustainable development in human welfare, so I include, and there are a lot of papers regarding threats of fish diversity. So I picked up a particular threat, that is urbanization, and I included it in my search word urbanization. You see 831 results. So now let me see, quite good actually. So 831 papers. So let me see whether a review has been published on this or not. So I typed again a review. No. Thankfully, there has been no review work on this thing. That is effect of urbanization on the biodiversity of freshwater fishes of West Bengal, of East Kolkata wetlands in West Bengal. So there has not been a single reviewer in the following topic. So I am safe. But now I want to see the last few years, the recent development. So here I have mentioned since 2016, and so if I filter my search from 2016, so I get 273 papers, which is really within my range. Though UG students, you need not read all the 273 papers, but this it's just to give you an idea how you focus your topic, how you narrow down your topic, how you untangle your mind. Okay, so from biodiversity, I could come up with a probable topic. Do not, until and unless you write everything, do not confirm on the topic. A probable topic is a review on the effect of urbanization on the biodiversity of freshwater fishes in East Kolkata wetlands, West Bengal. Okay, so that's it. We are set with the topic. So this was a preparatory phase, which I explained to fix the topic. These are the steps. There are 5 steps in the preparatory phase. The topic, I explained you. Search the literature. See, you can write about whatever is written in those papers where you search biodiversity. You can take those papers also. You can evaluate those papers also and make notes. So you have to search literature, make notes. What you will take from where. Start reading, evaluate, classify. Again, make notes. So redefine the focus. What you want to do, redefine. And then come up with a preliminary title. It should be informative, concise, and mention that it's a review. So I hope till here it's clear. Next comes phase 2, where you have to develop a structure. So far it is scattered. Now you have to structure it. You have brought the bricks, cement, design, and everything is there. Now you have to put it in a pen and paper. You have to give it a shape. Okay, so you have to build your house slowly. So you have to develop the structure now. So first, find the structuring principles of the article, like how you are going to go about it, chronologically or subject matter, or these experiments are done. So since I'm talking about biodiversity, you can go chronologically, like so many fishes were found in 2017, but the papers which are in 2018, they say that there is a decline and urbanization is increasing in this way. So that kind of thing can be done. You prepare an outline, find headings. Remember the paper review article we saw, headings, subheadings, sections in the text body. Plan the content in each paragraph in the different sections. Prepare tables, concept maps, figures. So this is how you develop a structure. But still, everything is in bits and pieces. You're working in bits and pieces. Okay, so you have decided the subheadings and now you have to fill in the blanks. Third phase is write the draft. First, you will start with the method section if needed, like how many papers you have searched and how you have distributed it, how you have distributed the paper. If you want to write that, that is not mandatory. Then draft the body sections. Wherever you have given the headings, give put put the subheadings, put in materials, put in text there. Then draft the conclusion where you give your recommendations. After all the three steps, then go and write the introduction. Okay, whatever, because you have taken references during body and stuff. So then write the introduction and then write the abstract. Now remember, this is a best practice, but there is no hard and fast rule. Like if you are comfortable by writing introduction first, please go with it. Okay, this is a best practice which has been mentioned, it has been published also, it has been mentioned, but it again, like there are, it's not a rule, it's a best practice. Okay, so next is fourth and a very important is to revise and take feedback. Revise, rewrite, feedback. Revise, rewrite, feedback. Because till now we have written the draft. So as long as it's a draft, you can always scribble and rewrite. Okay? So revise the drafts, revise the citations and references. Please check it has been written same way the journal wants or not. Correct the grammar, spelling, punctuation, adjust the layout. Sometimes due to version of Word, like when you transform from one machine to other, it becomes stick, like the layout changes, so adjust that, convert it into the PDF and check it out. So these are the 4 phases and the 18 steps. Again, you have to evolve your own methods. These are the best practices. I am mentioning you the best practices, okay? So you all are writing, you all are familiar by writing notes, right, for your subject. So I hope you have understood, like in writing review articles, it's somewhat similar to writing notes, right? Where in notes you read 2 to 3 books and then you prepare your own written material which you are going to study before the examination. And in review articles, you read literature and summarize the literature and give your point of view, right? So, but what is the difference? It is somewhat similar, but it is different. How is it different? The context where you write the notes is a broader context, like biodiversity. You will write notes on biodiversity. But here the topic is more focused. The context wise, it is more focused. In notes, you cut, copy, and paste from the books, various books. Here, beware of plagiarism. You can take the idea. You can say these people have done these work, but you cannot just pick and paste. Like Control C, Control V, you cannot do that. Beware of plagiarism. Notes, generally we do not give much reference. These books were referred, but here there is a specific referencing style and you must give due credit to all those people whose articles you have referred. So referencing must be done meticulously. In notes, you state facts, concepts, and here you have to analyze the facts. You have to give your recommendation. So the responsibility is more while you're writing a review article. So don't get that much bogged up since you are a UG student. While writing, just keep it in mind that it is whatever I'm writing, it's not simply notes. I have to be more responsible while writing it. Okay. So I know you guys are responsible, but you have to keep that responsibility in mind while you're writing review article, because remember you are mentioning somebody else's word, so the responsibility increases, right? Here's an example of a plagiarism where you can check plagiarism, Turnitin, and another is Grammarly, where you can check your grammar. It's very useful. There's both Turnitin and Grammarly are very useful. I find them very useful, and so I hope I was able to put down my point. Remember, you got to do what you got to do. So don't procrastinate. Start doing. Just start your work. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.